can anyone tell me which one you think the Mia Hamm commercial selling Gatorade was of those 10?
Testimony?
Correct. Now, what about the mouse and the cheese? Noah's cheese. Do you remember that one? Kind of.
Humor?
Yes, correct. Awesome. Good job, guys. So next, I have a little poem here that I'm going to read for you guys. Be careful to listen as I'm reading this out loud for things that you would recognize as these advertisement appeals within it. And I'll ask you once I get done reading what we have in here. Okay. So, this poem is called The One, just like the lesson. How do I choose which shampoo I use? Is it the ads on TV? How do I know it will make my hair glow? How is it working on me? How do I decide which jeans I will try? Do I decide by the fit? If I saw the same tag on any old rag, would I make a point to buy it? Why do I think my favorite soft drink tastes better than all the rest? So many to try, so why do I just buy the one whose commercials are best? So, for example, I will give you one so you guys kind of know what I'm thinking of online here. Like, for instance, where it says the shampoo ad where it goes, will it make my hair glow? This is using the false image appeal. It's using the false image appeal because, as it says there on your handouts, if you read, convinces consumers that people who use the product give off a certain image. Glowing hair. Now, I don't know for sure if I'm not sure if you've ever seen a commercial like that, but I don't think shampoo is going to make your hair glow. Like they show in the commercials, all the the glowing, ravenous, blonde hair. They're not going to have that necessarily. So does anyone else see any other appeals within this poem here? Yes, Brad?
The one that talks about the pants fit?
Yes. Which appeal do you think that one is?
I'd probably say false image.
Okay. So, do I decide by the fit? Yeah. You could kind of go with that one a little bit. Another thing with the jeans as well is how it comes down here and says, which jeans will I try? Do I decide by the fit? And then, if I saw the same tag on any old rag, would I make a point to buy it? So what they're getting at there is, if I saw, like, Abercrombie & Fitch jeans that, that great brand that people like, would I buy that, or would I still buy the one that says Levi's there? Is it just the brand name? And so that one would go down to the brand loyalty appeal as well. But yes, that could also be with the jeans as well. Good notice there. And anyone else? Did you notice anyone else or any other ones in here? Chris?
Like the favorite soft drink one could maybe be like the snob appeal. Because, like, you only deserve the best. Like the Gatorade, maybe.
Yeah, for sure. Definitely. They're saying, like, Gatorade is the best, or Powerade, or whatever it is. That's definitely another one there as well. Okay, so next I want to tell you about these advertisements. I told you about the different appeals we have, but when it comes down to is the goals of all these advertisements and the committee that works on these advertisements is not to inform you guys, but to sell the product. And that's very important to remember. You have to have that perspective when you look at these things, because they're not looking out for you, they're looking out for them and their product line and their end quote. Like, everyone's out there to make that money. So you have to, as a student, as a consumer out there, know that. So you don't get kind of in that point where you have that, like, blinders on and you just think that, well, they said it's good for me, so it must be good for me. Is there... Which one of these techniques have you seen used on yourself, do you think, in your life as of now? Any examples? Yes, Chris?
The bandwagon appeal. Like, on a lot of teams I was on, we would do, like, 3 or 4 kids would have the same shoes. So it was like, well, everyone has those same shoes, so we should all get them.
Definitely. Jim, Brad?
I would think the humor appeal You get the walking down the aisles to the grocery store and taking the funny food commercials.
Yeah, kind of gives you like, you see the commercial, and then you're walking down the aisle, and you're like, what cereal do I get? And then you're like, oh, I remember that. Or whatever it is, Rice Krispies or Lucky Charms. I remember that commercial. It was kind of funny. And then subconsciously, you almost kind of gravitate towards that. For sure. Now, what I want to teach you guys is how to be wise consumers. Now, wise consumers not only analyze the advertisement itself, but they figure out how it would fit in their budget and like if it's actually what they want to get. So it's kind of, you have to take this higher look into it, higher understanding than just, well, this product says it's good for me, is it good for me? This product says it'll help me grow muscle, will it? And the ways you do this is simple little, well, some of them are simple. Like for instance, when you go and get that cereal, they say it's really good for you. Look at when we had a lesson earlier on nutrition labels by another teacher, look at those nutrition labels, those nutritional facts. See what's in there, see how much sugar's in there, see how much sodium's in there, and know that, okay, maybe this isn't as healthy for me. Like Gatorade is great for athletes, but the thing is, it has a high amount of sodium because it helps you absorb the water. But if you're just like not an athlete necessarily, or you're not working out really hard that day, Gatorade may not be the best thing for you at the time, because those big Gatorade bottles, they have a lot of, like, most times you see students getting those, they're drinking the whole thing, but there's actually like 3.5 or 2.5 serving sizes in there, and you look at the nutritional facts and it says only like so many grams of sugar and sodium, you think, oh, that's not that many, but you have to actually times it by 2.5. So there's things like that, reading the nutrition label, researching the product, or even being aware of what kind of appeal they're using on you is all ways to be a wise consumer, which is what I want you guys to be at the end of the day. It's okay if like you make mistakes, but I want you to know before you go in and just buy something, hey, is this something that's going to do what I want? Is this fit my budget? And is this product going to say what is it actually going to do what I think it's going to do? Those are important things to kind of come up in your head before you buy these things. Is there any other examples or ways that you think you guys could be wise consumers when buying any products, whether it's stuff with food, whether it's, luxury items like a car or a cell phone, anything in general? Leaving this one wide open. And you can kind of go off what I use and just give a specific example too, like, oh, I would read this, this, and this to see if, it does have a sodium. Yes, Chris?
Like doing your research, I think, like reading the nutrition labels, knowing what you're going to buy before you buy it, and not just going off of the commercials that they told you something great about the product.
Awesome. Cool. Now, I don't want to run out of time because I promised you guys I'd have something kind of different today. We're going to change it up a little bit. So what I have here is we are going to do some skits. And how we're going to do this is I have two here. Whose birthday, or actually we'll do it this way. Who's the oldest in the class, technically, right now, between you two? What do you think?
When's your birthday?
13th of August.
Yeah, he's got me.
Brad? Okay, I want you to pick one of these. This will determine who goes first for our order here, for skits, and I'll explain in a little bit. There you go. Which name will we find?
First.
Chris is first. Okay, so we'll go Chris and Brad, and we're gonna try and get through a few of these. We're gonna probably run out of time before we get through all of the appeals. But what I have here is a list of all the appeals. I'm gonna put them in this pretty cool Ninja Turtle hat here, and you're gonna come up. Chris will come up first once we get started here, not yet, and pick one. And when he picks this appeal, he'll have 1 minute on the timer to figure out a short skit, at least, longer than like 15 seconds. 30 seconds would be nice. As long as you want, leaving it wide open for creativity. Let's not break anything, sorry. And what I have here is a bunch of items. I have underarm coats, some headphones, some video games, because I know you guys like your video games here.